and we built bank statement fetching. Like that was the thing we were kind of famous for.
I love bookkeeping.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the I Love Bookkeeping Show. I am your host, Ben Robinson, and we've got a treat for you here today. We're going to kind of take a little detour from what we normally do. Normally we are talking about very tactical things with bookkeeping, or we're interviewing bookkeeping professionals so you can gain insights into what other people are doing, the struggles that other people are having, and the opportunities that they are facing. But today we're going to talk with someone who's going to give us a little bit different angle from the bookkeeping profession. He is the CEO and co-founder of Relay Financial, and he lives in Toronto, Canada, I believe is where that is, right? If my geography serves me right. Toronto, Canada. Okay, I'm just a redneck. You'll have to forgive me. But hey, here's what Relay is. It's really, really cool. It's banking designed for growing businesses. You can easily collaborate with your team, manage payments, and issue corporate cards, all from right inside of your bank. So let's give a warm welcome to Yoseph West with Relay Financial. Hey, Yoseph.
Hey, Ben. Super excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, great to have you. We were chatting last week, and you were explaining everything that Relay does, and it's really great. And I see it as as groundbreaking for us as bookkeeping professionals, because we're always the ones that people turn to and looking for creative solutions, if you will, right? And so why don't you give us why would somebody go and look at Relay Financial versus just their traditional bank down the road?
Lots of reasons, as you might expect. It's worth kind of talking a little bit about kind of my background, and we can talk about kind of the pain points. I've been working in the accounting and bookkeeping industry for more than half a decade now, and I've just seen a lot of the pain points accountants and bookkeepers run into as it relates to banking and dealing with banking for their small business owners. My past, I previously worked at a company called Hubdoc, which, at the core of that service, if you're not familiar with Hubdoc, we're basically like a central repository for small business financial documents. And we built bank statement fetching. Like that was the thing we were kind of famous for. And through that experience, we got kind of visibility into the pain points, as I said, around banking for accountants and bookkeepers and their small business owners. And primarily it was around access to data, access to statements, bank feeds that actually work. And then it was like, once you actually got the data in, it's like quality of information that's going into the accounting system. Because, you could get it in, but it could be quite poor. And then you still have to do a lot of work to make sense of it, to be able to deliver financial visibility for the small business owners you work with. And so when we thought about those two problems, we thought, okay, how do we actually go out and solve this? The only answer we could come up with was to actually attack it at like a foundational level. So we built Relay. It's like business banking rebuilt from the ground up. So you actually get your own like bank account. You can issue MasterCard debit cards. You can manage payments all from inside your bank account. And to answer your question more directly, like why do people use that solution over their Bank of America or Wells Fargo or Citibank? Like why are they switching every day to our solution over those existing kind of behemoths, right? And it's primarily around like three areas. So one is certainly for accounting and bookkeeping firms, they love the fact that we have a user permission model. So they get their own partner portal. They can manage their staff's access to client accounts. They can manage their own access to their clients' accounts, like bank accounts. And those are Relay bank accounts. And it's much better than having to share bank logins, which is what most advisors do today, right? It's kind of like the dirty secret of the accounting and bookkeeping community. And then two is actually being able to like manage your payables inside your bank account. That is what every small business owner wants to do. Every time an advisor asks their small business owner or client, why sorry, my dishwasher. I apologize. I can't quite hear you there, Ben. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I was laughing. Like, hey, we're all working from home. All bets are off right now. Dishwasher. Yeah. Let it flow, man. This is organic.
It was running, and I was like, it wasn't making any noise when we started the call. It was only when we started getting going. So I apologize.
Is your dishwasher ready? You better go catch it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, back.
Yeah, back to it. So, every small business owner, when they're asked to use a third-party payment processor, or, just a better way of managing their payables, the first question they ask is like, why can't I just do that for my bank? And so with Relay, not only do you get to collaborate with user permissions, you can actually manage your payables inside of Relay. So we integrate it into both QuickBooks Online and Xero, and we pull in unpaid bills, which is pretty sweet. And then number three is you can actually manage business spending using cards. So you can issue cards to employees. You have better financial visibility of what's happening. And then certainly for the accounting and bookkeeping community, we talked about the partner portal. We actually have a direct bank feed with both Xero and QuickBooks Online, which is pretty sweet. So you get like a reliable feed, API to API. Like there's no web scraping going on, so it won't actually break. And then three is we deliver like enriched standardized data into the accounting system, which makes it way, way easier to do the books because you have good data that you're starting from. You're starting from a better foundation.
Wow. So let me visualize this. Are you telling me that if I have 5 clients that's with Relay Financial, I could log into one portal and I could see all 5 clients' bank activity?
Exactly.
Assuming I've been granted access, right?
Yeah.
No hacking allowed.
Right.
So inside of my portal, I can see client 1, client 2 through client 5.
You got it.
I just got chills because, that is one of the big pain points. And you mentioned it, right? But I know that it's such a pain in the butt to have to manage those. I remember back in the day when we had to have the little key fob and press the button and run over to the thing and press in a number that didn't work. And, so this right here is like utopia. So go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say that's exactly why firms love us, right? Just having the access saves them 1 hour per client per month on their banking. And the fact that like when transaction data is going through Relay, it's like standardized, it's clean, and it goes across and syncs into the accounting system. It saves so much time, right? And we've all talked about this dream of like real-time financials and playing the role of the advisor over these last 5 years, and a lot has changed, right? Like almost every part of the software stack has changed in the last 5 years: payroll, payments, document management, whatever. But there's one part that hasn't, and that's the bank account. And really, the bank account is the key to it all. And so, our question, or what we're looking to go out and build, is effectively a bank account that actually connects into your key systems, helps increase financial visibility for small business owners, and makes the lives of advisors easier.
Wow, that's an amazing platform. I mean, because getting very granular, I know that a lot of our audience, that's the thing we struggle with. It's the bottleneck is typically the client getting us information, not because they're mean people or anything. They're just busy. And I've always talked about remove the friction points. And a huge friction point, if not the biggest one, is getting information from clients. So this effectively, because I'm thinking very practical, I got these 8 checks and I see them coming in. I don't know who they're to. I don't know what they're for. I can't see the images. Now I got to go log on, or a staff member has to log on. So are you telling me the Relay Bank can overcome those challenges right there?
Yeah, so that's a great example. So chasing down checks is a pain point that people solve by switching their clients to Relay banking, right? So when a check is deposited or a check is sent out using Relay, they actually get the payee or the payer's name in the transaction, right? So it's not coming across as check 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 1, 2, 3 plumbing or whatever it is, right? And so that financial visibility makes it easier to do the books, makes it easier for you to not have to like ping your client to either get access or to ask them what this check was for.
Wow. Okay. So we have the checking information right there, and so we could potentially have the credit card information right there. We have debit card information, and we could have bill pay all from one central location. Is that correct?
Exactly. Minus the credit card. So
okay.
we don't offer a credit card.
Okay. Debit card. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Add that credit card, man. You can make a lot of money there with those discount fees. Yeah. No, that right there is revolutionary, because this is something that, 5 years ago was that would be Star Trek stuff, right? And today it's now, I mean, that to me, I know that there's a lot of people that are going to be very, very excited about going and seeing that. So let's back up a little bit. So how long ago or when did you start Relay Financial?
Yeah, so we founded the company in October 2018. We went live with customers halfway through last year. And it's been growing really quickly. The response to the product has been it's been insane. Like, customers love it. They just, when they see it, they're like, I just didn't realize banking could be like this. This kind of reframes what's actually possible from a bank.
Absolutely. Are there any specific industries, niches, that sort of thing that Relay is really well suited for, maybe some that aren't?
Yeah. So, I think with a product like small business banking, right? Like, the core challenges are typically the same across almost like every industry. So, we work with e-commerce folks, we work with consultants, we work with real estate. We have some, churches and ministries, and certainly like nonprofits. And so there's like a long tail of industries that work with the solution because they all have kind of very similar needs. The industries that I would say are less of a great fit for Relay are those that are like cash heavy. So if you need to be doing cash deposits, like you're a restaurant, you're a bar, Relay probably isn't the right fit as your primary financial institution. Might be valuable to have us as like a secondary, but those would definitely be the ones, as well as ones who need to process a significant number of checks every month. So if you're needing to batch upload 100 checks every month, we're probably not the right place for you.
Okay. So pretty much the service, not only just say limited to service based, but more service based online virtual type of businesses are a better fit than maybe, like you said, a restaurant that needs to deposit cash and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Got you there. So are there any like new initiatives or things that you're trying to add to the platform, or are you sticking to the sweet spot? What's kind of your vision for a year down the road?
Yeah. So our like vision as a company is to like automate financial management for small business owners. So we're starting with banking, and our view is that like we can build valuable software on top of the bank account to save small business owners time and help them get back to what they really want to do, right? Which is like run their business, help their customers, and grow and manage their team. They don't want to think about the financials. They just don't, right? And so our first kind of kick at the can at that is building out like this payables integration into QuickBooks Online and Xero, where we pull in the unpaid bills. And then we're adding like approval workflows and recurring and scheduled payments. And the reason we're like building out these different pieces of functionality is because, some business owners, they're just getting started and they need like a US operating account. And so they use Relay as the primary financial institution. But a lot of small business owners that accountants and bookkeepers are working with today actually already have an existing bank account, typically, right? And what we see is people are much more open to, switching, quote unquote, or at least trying something as a complement when they start with a specific pain point that they're thinking of solving for their business. So we see lots of business owners start and say, hey, my primary is Bank of America. And, I want to use Relay just for bill payments. That's all I want to do, because Bank of America's bill pay is not so hot. And we're like, okay, sounds good. So they throw a little bit of money into the Relay account. It's really easy. You sign up online inside of 10 minutes. You can move money really quickly. It's quite exciting. And they test it out. They see that it does what it said on the can. They build trust with us. They see that we have amazing customer service, and they actually organically switch everything over. And Relay basically becomes their primary financial institution, even though they never formally made a switch. So, Ben, when you ask like where are we going to be in a year, it's going to be more focused around like how do we deliver value for small business owners in their key workflows. So we're starting with payables, and the other areas that we have a deep interest in are like accounts receivable as well as like expense management. We're still trying to figure out the order of operations after we go deep here on the payables piece. But that's a little bit of how we're thinking about banking plus software.
Yeah, and that's I mean, already what you've done, if you've stopped there and went deep with that, you've already created something that's monumental. And I love what you said there about Because if I were to go to my client and say, hey, I suggest you switch your bank account. They're going to say, I'm going to suggest that I switch my bookkeeper because you're nuts. But I really like what you said right there. And that's what I kind of want to tie this up with is how would I, as a bookkeeping professional, after I look at the platform, and by the way, we'll tell you how to look at that and get some additional information here in just a minute. But how do I go about explaining to my client, what are my talking points that says, hey, you should look at Relay Financial because 1, 2, 3. What is 1, 2, 3? Explain that to my client.
Absolutely. So one, you can sign up online inside of 10 minutes and get a free bank account that's FDIC insured up to $250K. That's like
huge.
number one. Yeah. So
Yeah.
super easy to get started. You don't have to go to a branch. You don't have to lose 2 hours of your life, all that good stuff. Two is, it really depends on what the pain point of the small business owner is, right? So if it is, they're trying to consolidate all their payments in one place, then that's what you should be selling, right? And say, hey, let's use Relay just for this. Like it'll be a complementary bank to your existing financial institution, and that's where we'll start. Or three is, it's actually like the ability to issue cards for employees and team members, and let's start with that. And so those would be kind of the bullets. It's like easy to get started. Let's pick a pain point or a key workflow that we want to solve for your business. So really make it real for them, make it tangible. It's like, okay, I get this benefit by going through this process. And then three would be really around like security. So we have real two-factor authentication. It's not SMS codes. It is like, Google Authenticator or LastPass or whatever authentication mechanism you use. And we have kind of in-depth kind of monitoring on our systems. So, that plus like the FDIC insurance, it's pretty powerful.
Awesome. Now, I know you right now, as based on our conversation last week, you are U.S. based only. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. All right. Even though you live in Canada, what's up with that, man?
I know. What a disgrace.
Hey, we have a bunch of Canadian followers. I think you should go and definitely troll Yoseph for what the heck. No, I'm just all playing. I can imagine how tough it would be to manage one country's finances and try to get into another one. So I don't envy you for trying to deal with the American banking system because I know that that one's tough enough as is. Yeah,
like expanding beyond the U.S. is certainly part of our plan, and we certainly hope that we can come to Canada later this year.
That's awesome. Yoseph, this seems like Star Trek. It seems like something that I wish that I would have had. Not seems like, it's freaking something that I wish that I would have had. So I know that a lot of people are maybe going, no, there's no way. So your site is Relay FI. That's Foxtrot India, relayfi.com, correct?
That's correct.
So I suppose on there we can get some additional information about how these services work and obviously sign up if it's good, right?
Absolutely.
That is awesome. Yoseph, this is definitely revolutionary, and I know that bookkeepers are going to geek out on this, and we appreciate you carving out some time in your schedule to come check things out and be to our bookkeeping community. They love stuff like this, and I commend you for really addressing a pain point and listening to your market.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Listen, if you would like to hear more great conversations just like today's, then I want you to head on over to ilovebookkeeping.com. There, you're going to find all of the shows, the notes, and some other great goodies that we have for you there. Now, if you'd like to be a guest on the I Love Bookkeeping show, there is a link that says Be a Guest. Go in there and we'll walk you through the process of getting on the show. And finally, to discover more about our programs, go to the courses page on the ilovebookkeeping.com site. There you have it, another great episode of I Love Bookkeeping. Thank you for being a proud listener, and thank you for being a bookkeeping professional. Enjoy the rest of your week.
I love bookkeeping. Here's a little shout to all my